Welcome back to AI Explained. You know, um, in this deep dive, we're going to be tackling a question that's been kind of making headlines.
Yeah.
Could AI become so advanced
Mm,
that it actually poses a threat to humanity?
yeah.
And we're going to be exploring this through the lens of Eric Schmidt,
Right.
former CEO of Google, someone who has been at the forefront of the tech world.
Absolutely. And I think, it's
Mm.
fascinating because Schmidt isn't just kind of speculating here. He's actually putting forth a pretty bold idea.
Right.
He's suggesting that if AI reaches a point where it can constantly improve itself,
Hmm.
we might actually need to consider,
Like hitting the pause button.
yeah, pulling the plug, is how the source puts it,
The plug.
which I think, is a pretty
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
intense image. Yeah.
But I guess when you're dealing with something as powerful as AI,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to consider all the possibilities, right?
Absolutely. I think what Schmidt is really talking about here is the potential shift in the balance of power.
Hmm.
Right now,
Yeah.
we're in control of AI development, but what happens when AI can essentially upgrade itself
Right.
without our intervention? That's where the concept of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, comes in.
Right. AGI,
Yeah.
the source defines that as AI that can perform any intellectual task that a human being can.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just talking about AI that can like beat us at chess
Right.
or write a poem.
Mhm.
We're talking about AI that can learn and reason and solve problems across a wide range of domains.
And that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Because once you have AI that can learn and improve itself at
Right.
an exponential rate,
Yeah.
it's hard to predict what the consequences might be.
Yeah. Which brings us to Roman Yampolsky,
Right.
an AI safety researcher who was
Mhm.
mentioned in the source.
Mm-hmm.
He's made a pretty bold prediction, to say the least. He believes there's a 99.9999999% chance that AI will eventually lead to the end of humanity.
Wow.
That's pretty intense.
Yampolsky's prediction is certainly attention-grabbing,
Yeah.
and I think while it might seem extreme to some people, it does highlight a key point. He believes that achieving AGI may simply come down to resources.
Okay.
Whoever has the most computing power and the best algorithms
Right?
might be the first to cross that threshold.
So it's almost like a race to AGI.
Yeah,
And the winner, or loser, depending on how you look at it, gets to reshape the world.
that's certainly one way to look at it.
Yeah.
And it really raises an important question. Is achieving AGI a matter of when, not if?
That's a pretty big question.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's no easy answer. I mean, we have Sam Altman,
Right.
CEO of OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
predicting AGI within the next 3 years. But he doesn't seem to think it'll have an immediate massive impact on society.
And that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Because the source actually highlights this distinction between AGI and superintelligence.
Right.
AGI is about matching human capabilities
Mm.
across a variety of tasks.
Yeah.
Superintelligence, on the other hand, goes beyond human intelligence
Okay.
in every way imaginable.
Whoa, superintelligence.
Yeah.
So even Altman,
Yeah.
who seems relatively optimistic about the near-term impact of AGI,
Right.
acknowledges the potential for a rapid development path towards superintelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And he estimates that could happen in just a few thousand days.
Yeah, a few thousand days, that adds a sense of urgency to this conversation.
Right. It's not just some far-off sci-fi scenario we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's something that could potentially unfold within our lifetimes.
Exactly.
And just to kind of add another layer to this,
Yeah.
the source mentions a former OpenAI employee who warns that even OpenAI may not be fully prepared to handle the implications of achieving AGI.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Right. I mean, if the people building this technology are expressing concern,
Mm.
it definitely makes you stop and think.
Right. It raises questions about control and preparedness.
Mhm.
Are we as a society ready for the potential consequences of creating something
Right.
that could surpass human intelligence?
Okay, so we've got Schmidt talking about like unplugging AI.
Yeah.
We've got Yampolsky predicting a potential doomsday scenario.
Right.
And even folks inside OpenAI voicing their concerns.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a lot to unpack here.
A lot to unpack, yeah. And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
To dive deep into these ideas,
Right.
explore the different perspectives, and really help you, the listener,
Yeah.
navigate this complex and rapidly evolving landscape.
Absolutely. And we're just getting started.
We've been talking about some pretty heavy stuff,
Yeah.
but it's important to remember that AI isn't just about potential threats.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about
Yeah.
incredible opportunities to improve our world.
Right. You're right. It's easy to get caught up in like the doomsday scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the potential benefits, like what could achieving AGI really unlock for humanity?
I mean, just imagine a world where AI is helping us to solve
Right.
some of the most pressing problems that we face today. Think about climate change, disease,
Right.
poverty, challenges that have plagued humanity for centuries.
Hmm.
AGI could provide the tools and insights we need
Yeah.
to make significant breakthroughs in these areas.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah,
AI not as a force of destruction,
right.
but as a force for good.
Exactly. And, the possibilities extend
Yeah.
far beyond those major challenges.
Right.
Think about scientific discovery, medical breakthroughs, even space exploration.
Yeah.
With AGI, we could potentially accelerate progress in ways that we can barely imagine right now.
It sounds like a whole new era of human advancement.
Yeah.
But even with all of those amazing potential benefits,
Right.
there's still the question of control. Like, how do we make sure that AGI is used for good and not for harm?
That's the crucial question.
Yeah.
And that's really where things get interesting, because we're not just talking about technological challenges anymore. We're talking about ethical ones.
Right.
We need to be thinking about things like AI alignment, making sure that AI's goals are aligned with our own, and AI safety, building in safeguards to prevent unintended consequences.
So it's not enough to just build AGI.
Right.
We have to build it responsibly.
Precisely. And that's where organizations like OpenAI come in.
Right.
They're not just focused on achieving AGI, they're also actively researching AI safety and alignment.
Okay.
They're developing techniques to train AI systems
Right.
to be aligned with human values and to avoid harmful outcomes.
Okay, that's encouraging, but it also sounds like a massively complex task.
It is.
Like, how do you even begin to define human values
Right.
in a way that an AI system can understand?
That's one of the biggest challenges, and there's no easy answer.
Right.
But one approach is to really involve a diverse range of perspectives in
Right.
the development process, not just computer scientists and engineers,
Right.
but also philosophers, ethicists, social scientists,
Right.
people who can bring different viewpoints and values to the table.
So it's a very collaborative effort.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the technology itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having these important conversations about ethics and values
Yes.
right alongside the development of AGI.
Exactly. And that's where public awareness comes in.
Okay.
The more people understand about AI, its potential, and its risks,
Mm-hmm.
the better equipped we'll be as a society
Right.
to make informed decisions about its future.
That makes a lot of sense. This isn't just something for scientists and tech leaders to figure out.
Right.
It's something that affects all of us.
It does.
It's something that we need to be talking about and engaging with.
I agree. And I think there's a real opportunity here for a collective effort.
Well-
We need to encourage open dialogue, critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and responsible innovation.
So we've talked about potential benefits,
Yeah.
the crucial role of ethics,
Right.
the need for public engagement.
Mm-hmm.
But let's circle back to Schmidt's warning for a moment.
Okay.
He talked about the possibility of unplugging AI.
Mm-hmm.
If it starts to self-improve in ways we can't control,
Right.
is that even a realistic option? I mean, once AI is out there in the world, can we just hit a kill switch? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Is there a way to regain control if AI becomes too advanced?
Right.
Kind of feels like something out of a science fiction movie.
It definitely has that element of the unknown.
Right.
The truth is we don't have a definitive answer yet.
Right.
Some experts believe that it might be possible to build in safeguards,
Okay.
like kill switches or off switches.
Mhm.
But others argue that a sufficiently advanced AI could find ways to bypass those measures.
So even if we try to plan for those scenarios,
Right.
there's a chance that AI could outmaneuver us.
Yeah, it's a possibility we need to be aware of.
That's a bit unsettling.
It is, and it really highlights why a lot of researchers are advocating for a more cautious approach to AI development. They argue that we need to prioritize safety and control from the
Yeah.
very beginning rather than trying to play catch-up later on.
It makes you think about the pace of development.
Yeah.
And if we're rushing into something we don't fully understand.
It's a valid concern,
Mhm.
and it's why, open discussions like this are so important.
Right.
We need to be asking these tough questions and considering the potential consequences of our actions.
The source mentioned the concept of an AGI benchmark earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more? What does that actually mean?
So essentially, the AGI benchmark refers to a hypothetical point in time.
Okay.
When an AI system reaches a level of general intelligence
Right.
comparable to a human being, It's a point where the AI can perform a wide range of tasks,
Right.
learn from experience, adapt to new situations,
Okay.
just as effectively as a human can.
So it's not just about like specific skills like playing chess or writing code.
Right.
It's about a more fundamental level of cognitive ability.
Exactly. And the idea of a benchmark helps us to kind of conceptualize
Okay.
the progress of AI development. It gives us a target to aim for and a way to measure how far we've come.
But if reaching that benchmark comes with so much uncertainty,
Right.
shouldn't we be like slowing down the race or focusing more on understanding the potential consequences before we get there?
That's a perspective that many researchers and ethicists share.
Okay.
They argue that we need to prioritize responsible AI development, which means not just focusing on achieving AGI as quickly as possible,
Right.
but also on ensuring that AI is aligned with human values, that it's safe, and that we have mechanisms in place to control it.
So it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey
Exactly.
and making sure we're taking the right steps along the way.
Precisely, and that requires collaboration. We need experts from different fields, ethicists, policymakers,
Right.
and the public to all work together to
Yeah.
shape the future of AI in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
This has been a truly fascinating deep dive.
It has.
We've gone from the potential threats of superintelligent AI to the incredible possibilities it could unlock for humanity.
Yeah.
And we've explored the crucial role of ethics
Right.
and safety in AI development. I think the one thing that has really stuck with me is the idea that the future of AI is not predetermined.
I agree. It's something that we are all shaping right now.
It is.
And that's both exciting and a bit daunting.
It is. But I think the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions
Absolutely.
and guide its development in a positive direction.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to emerging technologies like AI.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you, the listener, for joining us on this exploration of AI.
Yes, thank you.
We hope we've given you some food for thought and perhaps inspired you to learn even more about this fascinating and rapidly evolving field.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here.
Right.
Continue to explore, ask questions, and engage with the issues surrounding AI. It's a topic that affects us all.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of AI and beyond.